Do you believe in testing on animals to further scientific research, or do you consider it animal cruelty? In our current society, people debate this very question, and I believe it's important to understand both sides of the issue. Animal experimentation is a concern that has very many aspects, and I want to point out each side of the argument so that people can make an informed decision on where they stand. I will first mention the reasons why animal experimentation is helpful, then why protesters find it cruel and inhumane, and finally why protesters believe it should be illegal. Let's begin with why advocates support testing on animals. Many people find animal experimentation to be beneficial for everyone, including the animals. Animal experimentation has been around for centuries, and since then, many treatments have been made available. Vaccines are currently given to aid rubella, measles, and rabies that were once not available. Not only do humans benefit from animal experimentation, but evidence also supports that animals too profit from the treatments of certain diseases. If studies by lab animals were not allowed, there might not have been a medical breakthrough as shown here. Since the discovery was made due to animal research, many scientists continue to work in attempts to better health for mankind. According to Ronnie Lankford Jr., dogs, cats, sheep, and cattle are also living longer and healthier lives thanks to vaccines for rabies, distemper, parvovirus, and infectious hepatitis, anthrax, tetanus, and feline leukemia. It's obvious by this statement that animal testing has been shown to benefit humans as well as animals too. For diseases that have no current cures, such as Parkinson's and AIDS, scientists hope to provide a groundbreaking cure that can be accomplished with the help of animal experimentation. Some people consider this a very important priority since animal testing has been shown to work in the past and help make breakthroughs with medicine. According to the Animal Welfare Act, the minimum standards of care and treatment be provided for certain animals bred for commercial sale, used in research, transported commercially, or exhibited to the public. The minimum standards such as sanitation, handling, food and water, accessibility, ventilation, and shelter for extreme weather are all things researchers must abide by in order to conduct research with animals. If these regulations are not met, these institutions could have their licenses stripped from them. It's important for researchers, for both ethical reasons and to follow the law, to maintain animals in an environment that meets quality and humane standards. Now let's take a look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Protesters of animal testing find it immoral and inhumane. They believe in standing up for the animals because they have rights just as we do. According to my audience analysis survey, 5 out of 6, which is 83%, do not think it's fair that animals have their rights taken away just because they cannot speak up for themselves. According to PETA, more than 100 million animals every year suffer and die in cruel chemical, drug, food, and cosmetic tests, biology lessons, medical training exercises, and curiosity-driven medical experiments. The debate about the inhumane living conditions as well as mental behaviors that arise in animals are what concern many activists. The stressful situations that these animals are subject to, such as being locked in a cage and awaiting their procedure, are unethical and inhumane for those who utilize animal experimentation. Research on animals inflicts pain and fear to many of the creatures, which is considered by many animal cruelty. I have a couple of pictures here. The first one is of some rabbits that are locked around their neck in a cage, or in a barricade, and I got this picture from cosmeticanimaltestingpictures.com. They're dropping shampoo into the rabbit's eyes to test the irritancy. And then the bottom picture is of a research lab technologist, obviously about to inject the monkey with I think it's aspirin, it said on the website, and you can tell that the monkey is obviously in pain by his facial expression. So, I mean, it's obvious that these animals are subject to pain and they're scared. Finally, I want to show why protesters ultimately want animal testing to be illegal. Many tests have proven that certain drugs will affect animals differently than humans. Since this is true, many people are skeptical on the products that are sold on shelves. They also question that since animals react to drugs differently than humans, ultimately animal experimentation is invalid, inaccurate, and unnecessary. According to Javier Burgos, the fact is that animals react differently to different substances, not only from human beings, but from each other. Aspirin kills cats and penicillin kills guinea pigs, yet the same guinea pigs can safely eat strychnine, a deadly poison for human beings, but not for monkeys. Sheep can swallow enormous quantities of arsenic, once considered the murderer's favorite poison. The list is endless. The fact that the protesters are working to prove is that there are alternatives possible. Alternatives such as tissue samples, computer simulation, and research on autopsies, and many others are presently available. Another way to end animal testing is if people worked harder to create a healthier lifestyle for themselves. According to Peggy Carlson, the International Agency for Research on Cancer estimated that as much as 80 to 90% of human cancer is determined by such things as diet, lifestyle like smoking, and environmental carcinogens. If prevention was a priority, many animals would not have to suffer for the mistakes of 80 to 90% of humans with cancer that have poor health habits such as smoking or diet. In conclusion, the debate of animal experimentation will probably continue to be disputed unless an adequate alternative is given or when the need for it no longer exists. Whether you believe animal experimentation is helpful, cruel, and inhumane, or think it should be illegal, it's important to fully understand all sides of the issue so that you can make an educated opinion about the issue. So now, after hearing each side, where do you stand on animal testing?